Hey, thanks for joining the channel. In today's episode, we are applying a lot of herbicides, but the big thing is some liquid fertilizer in the form of Clover Maxx on our food plot. Stay with us. Hey, thanks for joining the channel. In today's episode, it's really going to be part one of a three-part series on applying liquid fertilizer. I've never done it before. And I can tell you my rationale of why I want to try it this year, but we're going to experiment it with this year, really keep a close eye on it, do some tests, and make sure it's going to be compatible with our property, and more importantly that the money we're spending on this stuff, we're getting the results that we expect. So the reasons why liquid fertilizer: one, fertilizer prices are like sky high this year. This was about $57. It's a half-gallon jug, and it will cover 1 acre. So 1 acre, $57, probably about pretty close to the cost of granular fertilizer. But this gives me a lot of flexibility in the sense that I can spray, and that's what we're doing today. I can spray my liquid fertilizer, my broadleaf herbicide, my grass herbicide, and my oil that I use in my sprayer, all at one time, all at one pass. Now, you're supposed to apply this a couple times a year, which I'm going to do, but it's mid-April here in Iowa, and again, this is a clover field. So my hope is that between the fertilizer, the broadleaf control, and the grass control, that this clover food plot just goes crazy today.
Some facts about Clover Maxx. Its nutrient blend is 3:18:18, which is perfect for clover. A half-gallon covers 1 acre. It is designed to be sprayed on newly established and existing clover food plots. Add to new plots 3 to 4 weeks after planting. On existing plots, add twice a year.
There's really two important things before we get going here. One is to do a jar test. A jar test is you're mixing chemicals together. You want to make sure that they're compatible and they're not going to have any kind of reactive issue or clumping issue that's not going to work in the sprayer. So we'll put these chemicals together with some water in a small jar, shake it up, let it set for a couple minutes, see what we get. What we're not looking for is clumping and heat, those type of things that would cause problems. So we're going to do that. The second test we need to do is we need to know we need to calibrate our sprayer here. So I've got exactly 10 gallons of water in here. I'm going to go out there and spray a known area out in my food plot. You'll see that. And we'll calculate the square footage and acreage of that test plot, come back how much water did we use. And really what we're trying to get to is how much water do we need to use to cover the food plot with a little bit of grace, but we don't want to make a 25-gallon batch and only use 2 gallons. So that's what we're trying to avoid, and we can do this simple calibration test to validate that and get going. So step one here, let's do the jar test, because if that doesn't work, then this thing's not going to work at all. Okay, we've mixed our test jar here. Everything looks great, no clumping, no heat. It's been 3, 4, 5 minutes. We are good to go. So we just confirmed that the chemicals we're mixing together aren't going to react, and we're in good shape there. Let's go on to our second test, which is our area test or calibration of our sprayer. All right, guys, I'm not going to bore you with the calculations, but we got to do some math here. The key when you do this calibration on your sprayer is find the known speed that you're going to drive at. Make sure you're going to do the coverage on the test like you are on your food plot. So the key here, what I found was Here's the the final answer is I need about 12, 13 gallons of water, and I need to put the appropriate herbicide in that water. Now the Clover Maxx, like I said, the whole jug does 1 acre. This is a half-acre food plot, so that's really easy. I just put half of it in now. Later in the summer, I'll put the other half on, and we'll go from there. So I got what I need. Well, let's get at mixing. All right, again, for me, pretty easy here. So I'm going to use half this jug. This is 64 ounces. I'm going to put 32 ounces in my sprayer. That's going to cover my food plot, which is a half acre. I'll use the other half later in the summer to cover the second application. So that's what you're going to see me do here with the Clover Maxx, and then I'll add the appropriate amount of herbicide and oil and broadleaf application. Just a reminder, always a good idea when working around herbicides, have safety glasses, mask, and other protective gear as needed. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do before I start spraying here is I'm going to lay this tarp down, and the intent of the tarp is, again, I really want to know if this, specifically the fertilizer, is going to work. So I'll cover this area up, and it won't get any application from the herbicides or the fertilizer. In theory, at the end of the season, we should see this small area here at a much lower, browner than the rest of the field. So that's the intent of the tarp. We'll see if it works. All right, that's it. I got to tell you, my calculations were very close. I've got a little left over. I went a little long on the on everything, on the formula, the amount of water, everything, and I ended up with about exactly what I went over by. So that's not an issue for me because I've got another field to put this on, so it's not going to go to waste. But it just kind of proves that my approach and my calculations worked out okay. A couple things. One, Kubota 2601 tractor, absolutely love it. There's a link right here above my finger here if you want to see a review on this and some more information on the Kubota 2601. And then the sprayer setup. Man, I really love this 3-point platform that I call, and then I put my sprayer on it, and I've got a remote switch for the sprayer that I added on after the fact. Anyway, if you want to learn more about that, man, it is really handy, especially for food plotters and small farmers like myself. So again, I'll put that link up here. But everything went very well. I've still got a bigger field. Actually, it's a half acre. The next one's 2.5 acres. So I've got a lot of spraying yet to do today. The weather's great, so you got to make hay when the sun's out, right? So, but we appreciate you viewing. About 85 to 95% of our viewers are not subscribed. So how you can help us grow this channel is hit the subscribe button. Like I said, this is part 1. There's going to be 2 more parts here. You want to make sure you don't miss those. So don't miss them by hitting the subscribe button. You'll get a notification, and you can watch in the future. But we'll see how this works out. But until next time, be safe, have fun, and get outdoors.
Desperado, sitting in a old Monte Carlo, a man inside his hollow.